The air hung heavy in the darkened room. A group of people sat around an old wooden table. They were not just any group. This was the New Horizons Research Group in Toronto, Canada. Led by Dr. George Owen, a sociologist, they were about to embark on a strange experiment. Their goal was to create a ghost. Not a real ghost, of course, but an imaginary one. Could belief alone bring something into existence? The year was 1972. Interest in the paranormal was high. Dr. Owen and his team wanted to explore the power of the human mind. They theorized that if a group of people believed in a fictional ghost strongly enough, it might manifest in some way. It was a bizarre idea, but they were determined to try. Their experiment would become a classic in parapsychology, the study of psychic phenomena. It would raise questions about the nature of belief, reality, and the world unseen. The group needed a ghost, so they invented Philip Aylesford. They crafted a detailed backstory for him. Philip was a nobleman from 17th century England. He had lived a life of privilege and power. Then tragedy struck. Philip fell in love with a Romani woman, a forbidden romance. His family disapproved. In a fit of anger, Philip took his own life. The group created a physical representation of Philip too. They placed a small table in the middle of their meeting room. On it, they set a glass of water and a lit candle. They focused their minds on Philip's story. They wanted to believe he was real. They held séances, attempting to contact Philip. They sat in the darkened room, concentrating on the image they had created. They spoke his name, asking him to make his presence known. For months, nothing happened. The group met regularly, but the room remained quiet. Their experiment seemed destined to fail. Doubts crept in. Perhaps they were being foolish. Maybe Philip was just a figment of their imagination, nothing more. Still, they persisted. They continued to hold their séances, their hope flickering like the candle flame on the table. Then, one evening, something changed. As they sat in the darkness, a sound broke the silence. It was a faint rapping, a knock. It seemed to come from within the table itself. The group was stunned. Could it be Philip? Had their imaginary ghost finally decided to make contact? Excitement filled the room. They had no explanation for the sound. It was as if their collective belief had brought something into being. The knocking continued. It became a regular occurrence during their séances. The knocks seemed to respond to their questions. One knock for yes, two for no. The group was able to communicate with Philip. They learned more about his fictional life, his loves, and his regrets. The news of Philip spread. What began as a small experiment in a Toronto basement became a media sensation. Reporters flocked to witness the talking ghost. Skeptics scoffed, calling it a hoax. Believers were enthralled. Had science finally found proof of the afterlife? The New Horizons Research Group found themselves at the center of a paranormal storm. Newspapers ran stories about Philip the Talking Ghost. Television crews filmed the group's séances. The story spread across the globe. People were captivated by the idea that a group of ordinary people had seemingly conjured a ghost into existence. The increased attention brought with it scrutiny. Paranormal investigators, magicians, and psychologists all weighed in on the Philip phenomenon. Some dismissed it as a clever trick, suggesting the group was using hidden devices to create the knocking sounds. Others wondered if the power of suggestion was at play, with the group subconsciously creating the phenomena they wanted to believe in. Section 6. Tricks of the Mind. Despite the skepticism, the New Horizons Research Group remained steadfast in their belief that Philip was real. They argued that they had nothing to gain from perpetrating a hoax. They were not seeking fame or fortune. They were simply a group of scientists trying to understand the mysteries of the human mind. They pointed to the fact that they had been conducting their séances in a controlled environment. There were no hidden wires or devices that could explain the phenomena they were experiencing. They invited skeptics to examine their equipment and methods. They were confident that their experiment was sound. Section 7. The haunting continues. The phenomena associated with Philip intensified. The knocking sounds grew louder. Objects began to move seemingly on their own. The temperature in the room would drop suddenly, creating cold spots. The group reported feeling a presence in the room with them, a palpable sense of another being. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence came in the form of photographs. During their séances, the group would often take pictures, hoping to capture something unusual. On several occasions, their photographs revealed strange anomalies. Lights appeared where there should have been none. Objects seemed to be surrounded by a hazy glow. Some of the photos even showed what appeared to be a shadowy figure standing in the background. Section 8. Was Philip ever really there? The Philip experiment continued for several years. The group eventually published a book about their experiences titled Conjuring Up Philip. The book became a bestseller, further fueling public fascination with the case. To this day, there is no definitive answer to the question of Philip's existence. Skeptics maintain that the group was either consciously or unconsciously creating the phenomena they were experiencing. Believers point to the evidence as proof that something truly extraordinary occurred in that Toronto basement. Section 9. The Ghosts We Create. The story of Philip the Imaginary Ghost is a reminder that the human mind is a powerful thing. Our beliefs can shape our experiences in profound ways. Whether or not Philip was ever truly there, the experiment demonstrates the power of suggestion, expectation, and the very human need to believe in something beyond ourselves. Perhaps ghosts do not exist in the world outside our minds, but the stories we tell ourselves, the beliefs we hold dear, can take on a life of their own. And sometimes, when the lights are low and the shadows grow long, it is hard to tell the difference between what is real and what we want to believe. In the end, the mystery of Philip Aylesford remains, a testament to the enduring power of belief and the shadowy realm where reality and imagination blur.